Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Daily Bolt with your host, Dr. Jeff Tilley. Today's topic: we need more scientists like this one. Sit back and relax and enjoy today's Daily Bolt. So today's Daily Bolt is less about science itself and more about a scientist, Frances Arnold, who works at Caltech as a chemical engineer. She and two co-authors won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their work on the evolution of enzymes. And what's involved here is the fact that last May, in the prestigious journal just titled Science, which is published by the American Association for the Advancement of Science, Dr. Arnold and two co-authors published a work on enzymatic synthesis of beta-lactams. I don't know what a beta-lactam is. Don't ask me. I'm not a chemical engineer or an organic chemist. Those folks would be able to tell you what a beta-lactam is. Of course, I do know what an enzyme is. And so at least I know that much about the paper. What's notable is that Dr. Arnold retracted her paper from the journal. And she retracted it because the work was not reproducible. And this is one of the things that is a key in the scientific method. If you're going to have a result that you want to stand by, you want to be able to reproduce the result. There's a standing joke among scientists in terms of work that is sketchy that it should be put in the Journal of Irreproducible Results. That's always a joke. But unfortunately, far too often in contemporary 21st century science, a lot of work is not tested for reproducibility. There is too much of a rush and too much pressure from departments in universities and government agencies to publish, get it out as fast as possible. Doesn't matter about the quality. And so we go ahead, unfortunately, as a scientific community, and do not take the time to thoroughly try to reproduce results, make sure that they're robust, and there's a lot of junk science that gets published these days. So it's commendable and noteworthy when a scientist actually does try to reproduce the results and admits to errors in the paper that were not captured by the peer review process. And this is another instance where the peer review process has failed science, and I'll have another podcast on that probably later in January. So peer review didn't work, and the authors themselves have tweeted, along with a statement from the journal Science, the fact that the paper has been officially retracted. The work was not reproducible. There was missing data when they tried to go back and review the work and reproduce it. There were missing entries in lab notebooks. Basically what this means, when you boil it down and translate it, is that Dr. Arnold and her colleagues rushed the work. It was done too quickly, without too thorough checking, and no verification, probably because there was pressure from her department at Caltech, either for a tenure review or just in terms of trying to get a promotion, maybe a raise in salary. Many universities and government agencies say, oh, well, you have to have X many publications. We don't care where you publish them, and we don't really care about the quality. And so there's pressure put on for promotion and tenure decisions at least. It can be even more insidious than that, and I've seen instances of that. And so it's commendable that Dr. Arnold tweeted on Thursday that she didn't do her job well, she was too busy, and that she's retracting the paper. And the statement from the Science Journal basically backs that up. And the efforts that someone did try finally to reproduce the work showed that the enzymes do not catalyze the reactions with the activities claimed in the paper itself. So this is what science is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about verification. It's supposed to be about reproducibility. It's not supposed to be see how many publications you can get on your resume and the quality be damned. As I said, there's going to be a series coming up later in January where I talk about what I'll call the game scientist play. And this is one of them. Publish or perish. And unfortunately, a lot of what gets published is junk. And it never gets verified or reproduced. And people think it's good science. So kudos to Dr. Arnold and to her co-authors for having the integrity to withdraw the paper, to retract it, to apologize, and to admit they screwed up and that they didn't do a good job. We need a lot more scientists like this in all disciplines. And it's something of part of the reason why there is so much misinformation and hysteria in 21st century science today. So thank you, Dr. Arnold. Sorry it turned out that way, but I respect your integrity, as should we all. That's all for this edition of the Daily Bolt. I'm Dr. Jeff Tilley. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where you are, and God bless.